sake of like, what can I get from this? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
can I
but
actually
yeah, listen,
What have I got to
man.
lose?
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know what? Yeah, if you can take someone to court, you might as well these days, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like you're telling me that about the other guy that
Oh, the police officer.
the police officer. Yeah.
In America.
Fucking hell.
Oh, the guy who was told to tone down his gayness. They told him to tone down the gayness, and he took it to court, and he won $19 million.
$19
$19
million
$19
for what?
Someone said, "Tone down the gayness." Probably said.
Let me find it.
To be honest, at most, at like an extreme in that situation, I think that person might just be fired from that role. That to me is the extreme. Like reprimanded, absolutely, because we want to include everyone, and there's some things you shouldn't say.
Yeah.
But where's $19 million come from? Who paid for that?
I feel like that's taxpayers' money.
Exactly. Who paid that 19 mil?
So wait. Can I just point out that not just our country, not just America, but all over the world, we have so many problems. You know what I mean? As a species, we're not doing too well in caring for everybody. You know, we're actually, in comparison to most other animals do a lot better job at caring for one another than we do.
Well, we're quite evil in that regard, I believe.
Yeah. So there are people out here starving, uneducated, not getting the basic needs that they need, and someone's gone to court because they've been offended slightly.
Flint, Michigan still doesn't have clean water. I'm gonna put that out there.
But you got $19 million because you were offended.
Oh, okay, this is the first line of the thing. The first line of the article. Keith Wildhaber of St. Louis. So St. Louis, that's the South. That's Missouri. That's the South America. Where
the accent was spot on. I told you,
yeah, it was.
You felt it, didn't you?
Yeah. They're already Christian, so that is kind of going to be the general feeling on this. But yeah, apparently he was passed over for promotion 23 times.
Passed up for promotion 23 times.
23 times. I mean, it's quite a lot of times. But maybe he's just not good at his job. Like, that's...
Okay,
what? Isn't that an option?
That's a valid point. Okay, is that £19 million valid point? Absolutely not. At worst, at
absolutely
most,
not.
I'm talking like the most extreme, in my opinion, the most extreme scenario that he could get for winning this, and that should be the money that if he had been promoted to that position the first time, all the money that he would have earned in that position, he should get that much.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that's not 19 million.
But that's not even how it works. Who
decides this?
Some people get turned down for promotions. It's a thing, isn't it? It's like it's life.
But the money doesn't make any sense. It's like someone, like, I don't know. Do you know them game shows where you just spin the roulette thing?
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of I was looking at some paperwork at work, and it was like, make sure you file. It wasn't a tax return. It was some sort of paperwork to do with your company, and it's like, or you could be subject to an unlimited fine. Who decides? That's just someone sitting down and be like, oh, how much should we charge them if they don't put in their tax information? I'd be like, I don't know, just put it down limited and we'll decide later on. what is that?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
What's going on?
The concept of an unlimited fine. Yeah, no, you're right. No, I want to put on because that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. But when you're higher up, you can make these decisions, and the people on the bottom just have to accept them as law. But what is an unlimited fine?
I just feel that realistically, there is so many better things you could have done with public money. If it was a corporate business, take the 90 mil.
Yeah,
you need to do it. But when you're talking about public money, that doesn't make any sense because he definitely wasn't making 19 mil. Even if he saved every single dime for 20 years, he probably wouldn't have made
not
19
even
mil.
close.
There's just no way you can be like, okay, our public money, yeah, we're gonna do this, but at the same time, we're gonna do cuts on this, do cuts in this. Like I said, the whole Flint, Michigan thing, that would have cost them a couple million to fix. It's been, I don't even know how many years. It's been a long time. I don't even know how they're still like.
It irritates me that we have so many problems that we are not addressing, but things like this.
Yep.
The money's clearly there. The money is there to be spent.
Exactly.
And it's more like
they have too much money.
They keep it in a reserve for
butthurt folk.
Just
pardon the pun.
I didn't even. Oh my god!
And
Oh Lord.
I don't know. It does trigger me a lot when I read these stuff. And you know what? That's part of the reason why these days I'm not watching the news and stuff, because I'll read and I'll hear things and I'll just be like, this must be a joke, and I'm waiting for the real news to start, because what did you get? 90? That's a lot of money.
Wow, 19.
If someone gave me
Split that 19.
if
Split that
someone gave
19
me
ways.
50 if someone gave me 50 grand, that it would change my life as a person.
Yeah.
What do you need 19 million for?
I just remember. I could just imagine him leaving that courtroom after he won that, just slapping on that 21 Savage. He's like, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank account.
Oh
Listen,
my god!
How can you go from that? No,
Even
man.
if it was 90 million and then he got taxed heavily,
He can still sing it. He can still work on 21 Savage.
I'm not even gonna lie. If I knew that I could bust that 19 million for being positive, listen, I would pretend to be gay, and I would.
Do you know what I'm saying? Listen,
and it doesn't send
I
a
like a
good
gay person.
message, because it just means that you listen. If I get offended, I can get paid off this, and who's paying it? All the regular people who can't afford to pay it.
for real. Yeah, it's actually mad.
Wait. When they say tone down the gayness,
Tone down the gayness.
You can be gay, but you can.
How do you turn it down?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what did it mean? Like, was he like, hey y'all? Or, was he like super flamboyant in his gayness or what?
That's a very good point, because we're only hearing this side of it. There could be a fact that he was doing too much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, because obviously I'm all about be yourself. You know, like, be happy. You should be able to go to work and be yourself and not have any problems. But at the same time, you can be doing too much. You know what I mean? when I'm at work, you're not going to see me saying nigger to no one. You know what I mean? I'm at work.
You know what I'm saying?
So again, there's a balance here, but I'm going to say it for the last time now. 19 million is far too much money for any one person to get because they were offended.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I lost my head. When I saw that figure, I completely.
Can we move on from it? I'm getting heated.
Okay. The news is mad. This is what I'm saying. Another thing I seen in the news. Some guy, a married couple at the airport.
This is crazy. Oh, we did. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Run it.
I see. Yeah, they were scrapping at the airport. And you know what's funny? The headline, Brawl inclusive.
No, the picture's jokes.
You gotta love the metro, man. Holiday couple in airport bus fight. So the wife spot the husband, and then the husband was like, what? And spots her back. Must have been, yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, what would you do if you're punched by your wife in the face?
Do you know what? Yeah, in public, I have to just take it. I have to take it.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't have an opinion of what I would do in that situation, because as far as I'm concerned,
you don't know.
if I've chosen you as a person to be my wife for the rest of my life, because really and truly you go into a marriage thinking this is going to be the last person, or at least you should. So you should have known full well what type of person this was, and you then decided I still want this person forever. So how does this happen?
Nah, but that's the thing. I would argue that, like, when you marry someone, you don't expect them to punch you in the face when you're going on holiday, like at the airport. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a thing that you don't expect it. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I can't say that, because if you remember Ray Rice, the NFL player who baxed his wife, or his to be wife. Did you see the video when he punched his girl at the time? That was his girlfriend. Punched her in the elevator. Like, when I say what, it's one of them ones, it changes your life. One of them punches that changes your life. And they got married. They got married a few months later. So you know what? It's like, it's a. She has to be marrying for the money at that point, because you can't really think that person is for you if you're engaged. If they would do, because if someone loves you, like deep down loves you, they don't want to hurt you, and they might have some evil thoughts here and there, but they would never go through with that. But this is what I'm saying. What would you, bruv? Like, if you're like, you don't expect this stuff to happen, but it happens, bruv. This is what I'm saying.
I can't get over it. Man said the punch changed her life, bro.
If you've chosen for this person,
if you see the punch, you know what I'm talking about, man.
You've chosen for this person to be like your wife forever.
I don't think you can't predict everything a person's gonna do.
Absolutely, but some things should be out of the realm of possibility.
Okay, so hypothetically speaking,
Yes.
this is even by her standards,
Yeah.
this is mad.
It's a madness.
It's a madness.
Yeah.
So you're there, you're even more stunned. You're stunned, you're like rah, and then you're stunned again, like rah. So what do? What's your next move?
You just
Wait, well, she just stepped me in the face.
She's just hit you in the face. You've had a mad argument,
and she hit you to where you felt it like you saw the stars coming on. The
Well,
stars are just above.
You took one stumble back, that knee just bent ever so slightly, yeah. But you knew enough people saw it. So you're there just like, oh shit.
You know what?
You see in the corner of your eye, you see one smartphone just come out.
I got to bring it back to my childhood. So like I was brought up in this kind of like really old-fashioned way, in that as the man, it's your job to protect your woman.
Most of us are born like,
And
yeah.
If that happens, I just have to take a step back, cancel the holiday, and just leave.
Like, you're on a plane.
You're on the plane.
You're already there. You're going there, bro.
You're making it hard for people, man. I don't know. I can't. Because I've gone this far without having to deck someone in the face, so I can't see how what would push me to deck my wife in the face. Like what?
Well, yeah, okay. But what's your next move?
I don't know. I would just be I think I'd be sitting down.
You make up your mind fast, because that second punch is coming.
You know what?
You're the good ones. She's like, yo.
You know what? My initial reaction in that situation, which is the same reaction I've had in the past when women have wanted to engage in a physical fight with me. Like, I can't fight you because it's just not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair for me to fight you.
So
The only thing I can do is just restrain you until you've decided to calm yourself down. And that's happened a few times in my life when someone wants to fight me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna fight you, because when I win, who's gonna look at me and be like, yeah, bro, you beat her up, good job.
But then when you get slumped, they're gonna look at you like, raw.
You know what? I'd rather. You know what? I would rather.
You're gonna get a whole repost anniversary every year where they repost the same video.
I gotta say, I'd rather look like a bitch getting punched than look like a woman beater, because that's just not.
Nah, you're mad.
Like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I don't know what I'll do in it, but I'm going to react. I'm going to react physically. Like, I can't let it go.
I'd like to say what I'd like to do, but whether that's what I would do.
If it's a random woman decked me in the face, then as far as I'm concerned, it's now level playing fields.
Oh, okay.
Because now you're just a person who should attack.
Okay, cool. So you're not completely against.
No. Listen, if I'm walking down the street and
cool,
you've just seen me and you'd be like, I don't like you, and you punch me in the face,
that's mad.
You've now made the level. You've decided.
Listen,
you've now decided. Yeah,
cool. Let's fight. Because I love just throwing spanners in the work. I love it. Fucking love it.
God.
So what if a random woman comes and decks your wife, but decks her in such a way? Yeah? This is one of them Tekken slow-mo KOs. I want to just fly in the air and
just slow motion backwards.
And you're just there like, rah. What's your next move?
Oh yeah, she'd probably get decked in the face. Yeah.
Okay.
I said probably.
Yeah.
No, listen, it's a certainty. It's a certainty.
yeah.
Listen, I hope I'm wearing Timberlands that day, because
100%.
someone's getting kicked in the shin.
Bro, I'm gonna give there's gonna be some mad shin shoryuken.
Because you've already decided that you want to make this physical, and you've now foregone all the normal customs that would keep you safe in this situation.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Act like a woman. No, don't listen. As far as I'm concerned, you come with violence, you think you're a man. So listen, if you think like a man,
It's true.
if you think you're a man, you're ready for this beatdown. As far as I'm concerned,
Oh, yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, you're ready for this ass whooping. Like, it's coming, and you're ready for it. When you put your hands on me, you were expecting, regardless of whether it was in your head or not, you were expecting this response when you touched me. From that point, listen, whatever happens, jabs, hooks, it doesn't matter what I do, but something's gonna happen.
I want to hear your point, Rev, because you want about the forgiveness and everything.
Yeah.
So same question to you. On a holiday, this is your babes. Do you know what? Let's just make it even more saucy.
Yeah, come.
This is a 10-year anniversary as well. Yeah, you guys,
yeah,
you guys never go on holiday, but you're like, do you know what? You guys been working this hard. You know, the kids are away. This is just you.
Bora thing.
This is the perfect, exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect holiday.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens, but she brings up some shit, and it's some serious shit. Shit goes
Yeah.
down. It goes south
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
And obviously you're on the plane and everything.
Yeah.
And it's one of them ones, the argument gets heated. She gets up, she says she's gonna walk away. You try and diffuse it. She turns around, you're arguing at each other's face, and then what she does, you just see her just do one Joe Budden lean back, and the haymaker just comes through. You know, the ones you probably have to jump as well.
The haymaker. Oh yeah. Listen, the haymaker comes. Listen, I'll let it be known, like so that everyone, if I'm on the plane, we're in the aisles, I'll let it be known. Listen, I'm forgiving you for this. I'm forgiving you for what you've just done. But listen, I can't. I'm not a dickhead. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm not a dickhead. I'm gonna have to, at the very least, hook her in her ribs.
A quick one. I hope no
Quick one. Or in the stomach. Because listen,
quick solar plexus.
I can't just have it. Because the fact she's putting her hands on me thinks like she's thinking I'm a dickhead, isn't it? In her head, like that's the thing. Women, they only do that to you if they think you're a dickhead. So for her to do that, it's like, okay, cool. Like, who's this done? No. Don't get twisted, man. I'm gonna respond in a way where you're gonna look at me like, oh shit, I fucked up. Why'd I do this? I have to. Forgiveness. Listen, just because I'm punching your stomach doesn't mean I don't forgive you. I've forgiven you for it. But it's not the fact that you punched me. It's the fact that you thought, like, you know, in that moment you thought it was fine to disrespect me. You know what I'm saying? It's a disrespect thing. It's a respect thing. So yeah, for that,
I hear that.
I need to show you. Listen, I'm not the one. I'm not the one.
Well, so after that, you're locking off the whole thing.
No. Listen.
Oh, this
No,
is
no, no, no,
100%. You think I'm continuing this marriage?
You're looking off. Wait. 10 years, you got 2 kids.
Huh?
10 years, you got
There's
2.
2 kids. We can co-parent.
Oh, what?
I'm
Okay.
sorry. You know,
Okay.
Because in my head, this is not a possibility. This is not something that can happen. So when it happens, obviously I've made
Harsh Mike Dean, straight red card after 10 minutes.
if you like it's different. If your wife slaps you in the face,
Yeah.
to me that it's a disrespect thing. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, a lot of women do that. Fine. If you've curled your hands into a fist to cause me damage. This isn't because you were mad. You've now done this out of like it's
And it got you as well. It was a good hit. It was a good hit.
Like I said,
solid.
like you felt to lie down after it, but you knew. Oh,
No.
listen, I can't do this, bro.
I'm sorry. Clearly, I made the mistake in choosing you as a wife because this is not.
I was gonna say, do you know what?
This is shit. It's not a possibility.
That's
So
always
you're taking
it's
the blame
man's fault.
for getting
It's
dead.
the man's fault. When that happens, I'm sorry, it's the man's fault, bro.
Yeah, because
man's fault.
it segues quite nice into what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
When I was saying that, in my opinion, you shouldn't get married until you've moved in with your wife because you don't really know someone until you're there with them day in, day out, day after day, day after day for years. That's when because you know, even after, let's say after, for example, my last relationship went on for about 8.5 months.
Yeah.
There were certain things I just didn't do around my girlfriend because I knew she wouldn't like it.
Okay.
When you're forced to live with them, you can't keep that act up day in, day out. You just can't because you're being a different person.
Man said act, bro. Don't act, bro. From day one, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you feel like you need to do. You need to do you. You know what I'm saying? There shouldn't be any acting.
But you got to a point where you meet this girl. You're like, I really want this to work. I want her to see the best version of me. You know what I mean? And a lot of people will keep up that act as hard as they can. When you live with them every day, you can't. At some point, you're gonna crack.
Yep.
And at that point, if she then still wants you after that, then cool. Then great. This can work long term. But if you haven't lived with that person, then you don't know that person.
Yeah.
Because you know, you might not even be aware you're doing these things, but you do put up a persona and act like a version of you that you want the people to see. And that version will eventually crumble if you have to keep it up all the time.
Yep.
So, like, you know, that's why I've always been like, if you haven't lived with them, then you don't know them, really and truly. But, yeah.
That's true.
I don't know, man. I feel like, I mean, obviously, I'm new in this Bible thing, innit? Like, man's a reverend, but man's a fresh reverend. You know what I'm saying? I've been in this thing for long. I mean, I was, yeah. I mean, in the Bible, it says, yeah, you shouldn't cohabit or cohabitate. What's the word?
Yeah, you shouldn't cohabit.
You shouldn't cohabit. But you know, it's nowadays it's a normal thing, and everyone does it. It's a thing that everybody's up to. So it's like, I mean, me personally, I don't think I would. But you do make good points. You know, you don't know the person. I mean, after 8 months, really, what do you really know anyway? Like, I feel like 8 months is not long enough. Like, so if you're going out with somebody for years, regardless of if you're living with them or not, they're going to start their character's going to unravel regardless. It's
Absolutely,
guaranteed to unravel. Yeah. So I mean, maybe, yeah. I mean, people get married after 8 months. That might just be the problem, isn't it?
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
Man,
me-
them, you need to do better.
I'm talking like a 3-year minimum. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie to you.
it has to be. It has
Because
to
like,
Realistically, yeah, it has to be.
I mean, like, what? Because like, honeymoon period can last a long time. Some people it's 1, 2, 3 months. Some people,
Sometimes it's the whole relationship, and the thing is like 50 years. So
if you can keep a honeymoon a honeymoon phase going for 50 years, then as far as I'm concerned, that's not the honeymoon. Like you just had it right from the start.
Yeah,
you're
okay, no,
good.
that's
You're
true.
good. You got it. You got it. Yeah,
Wait, honey. You think
like where
you think
everything's
that exists?
What the honeymoon phase?
No, honeymoon
What, for 50 years?
Yeah, for 50
Oh,
years.
absolutely,
Nah.
absolutely. Yeah, there are people who they meet and like, yeah, listen, you're the one for me, and it just works straight through.
I mean, but
I
get that.
reckon they have those trip ups, but like
That
generally,
it's not going to be honeymoon, but I accept that there's people that will be very, very happy together. Like they will have they'll have a very, very good relationship. But I don't believe that the honeymoon is that's like the perfection. That's the perfection stage, isn't it? That's when
so you think happy ever after never exists? That whole thing they were telling us as kids was just a whole lie.
that's nonsense, man.
Misleading.
We're
Yeah.
human beings. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
I think marriage really only. I wanted to bring up that statistic from earlier about how many marriages
Well,
And
in
then
this
there's
country,
divorce.
it's like
Yeah,
was it
41%.
41. That is
in this
a
country.
huge amount of people that decided at one point that they wanted to spend the rest of their life with this person, and then not that far after was like actually not for me.
But you have to remember that includes the 19-year-olds that get married. That includes the guys that have been going out with girls for 2
Yeah,
weeks.
that does.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah.
also doesn't include the people that are still in marriages they don't want to be in. But
Oh,
still
yeah,
blinded
yeah,
by the
yeah,
marriage,
yeah, yeah.
and
There's
they're
no
not
force in
got
it
never
for their kids, which
So
is
they're
which
just grinding
is,
out.
Oh no, let me just say, they're doing it for their kids, which because that is really the reason that you're supposed to get married in the first place. So I understand it. At first, I didn't understand it, but now I understand when people are like they're struggling to keep their marriage together, but they're struggling to do it for the kids, and
But then-
I get that because your life is for your kids once you have kids. Like, that's my opinion, isn't it?
Yeah, but I personally don't believe that you need to be married in order to raise your kids properly. So you don't need to be married to raise your
Okay,
kids
so
properly.
let me give you a situation. So
Hit me.
You divorce your wife, and you leave out. You leave in this country in more time the kids will stay with the wife, and you go away. And what you're gonna chill, or you're gonna have another family, and you're gonna leave your kids to be with your wife while you're doing your thing over there.
Well, you got. I guess you got a co-parent. I think is the term.
Co-parent.
Where you're not with that kid every day, but you're still in their life enough to influence how they're growing up as a person. And obviously, you are right in the fact that if you're not there every day, day in, day out, then you're missing a lot of key points and a lot of times in their life when you should have been there, but you're not there. But it's not impossible for every kid that comes from a family where the parents are split and they don't live together. That doesn't doom them to be brought up badly. I mean, that's just not fair. But at the same time,
What do you mean it's not fair in what sense?
okay. Let's say you got two good parents, right?
Yeah.
They had their kid, but they've realized that they just can't be with each other day in, day out. So they got divorced. They're now living in separate homes. But you can still be a good dad. You can't be the best dad. You can't be the best version of you as a dad because you're not there all the time. But at the same time, you can still be a good dad. You can still bring up your child, and your child can still, go out without any of the problems that you normally see that manifest when there's a parent missing.
But what about my question? Like, you're gonna go off and have another family? Because when you go off and have that, like,
Can you be a dad to two different families?
like the family you're watching now is obviously a priority, isn't it? So what about the kids that you had before?
Is half a dad still a dad?
You know what? I'll drop some family history.
Yeah.
Because basically that is not exactly the same, but it's kind of the family that I grew up with.
Oh, right, okay.
In that my dad had an initial family.
Yeah.
So I have an older sister who we have the same dad, different mum.
Yeah.
Now, I think my dad's done a really good job in the way he's handled the two families.
Yeah.
I've never seen my sister as my half sister. She's always just been my
That's your
sister.
Yeah.
And I almost don't know what age I was when I was like, oh shit, she's not my full sister. But even after that point, I didn't start calling her. Oh yeah, no, I have to. Anyone knows, they'd be like, yeah, Adrian's got a sister.
Yeah.
She's never been half sister. So I know from experience that there are ways that you can, even though I personally got I suppose my dad's been here from the start of my life through, and for my sister, he was there from probably like the first maybe like 12, 13 years. That's when he was there.
All right, okay.
But she's not grown up with any of those problems that you might
Associate
expect from a
with-
dad not being there,
cool.
because he was still there. He just wasn't there daily. So I mean, and could he have been a better father if he is there daily? Most likely, because you're just not there every day.
Okay.
But is he a bad father in that respect? I don't think so.
Okay.
So
So potentially, it can happen.
Yeah.
But then you break it down realistically, and doesn't quite marry up like that, in the sense that
Yeah,
people are like, oh, you can do it, but
I would say I'm definitely the small percentage. In most scenarios, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, and I know that. It's just, I mean, you can't expect to be. It's hard to be the father in two families. It's hard not to be the father in one family.
Exactly. Exactly.
it's true. It's true.
So I'm saying, so that's like, would you readily advocate for guys to, like, if you're not having the best time? I mean, fair enough. I understand. Like, most marriages are not perfect. Like, you're gonna have a lot of them are just holding them by their fingertips. So it's like, would you advocate for? I mean, fair enough. You can advocate for people to get divorced, and people to leave their kids and this and that. But then for a man to focus on a different family and sort of, like you said, in your situation, your dad was active, like in this. Like and I agree. There's a very, very small minority of men that will have that know that they have to put the effort in both ways, and there's some of them that will sort of just leave the other family. Yeah. So I'm saying,
and I get it.
Probably the most likely.
That's-
It's the most like.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look down on those people because it's not easy.
I don't even blame them.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's not their fault.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But I feel like once you decided to have that child, well, in a lot of cases they don't even get that choice.
Yeah.
So if you decide
Which
to
is more
not be
which is more
involved in that
madness.
family when
Yeah.
you didn't want the kid and the woman wanted the kid, and if you then decide from that point on that you don't want to be, a part of that family, I'm not going to hold it against you because you didn't want this, and you were put in a situation. You had to make a decision. Do I really want, not the stress, but do I really want all that comes with this family? And I'm not ready. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I can't do it right now. So you decide not to go with it. Cool.
Mad.
But at the same time, I'd kind of been brought up with that sort of mentality where, like, if half of your chromosomes, half your DNA is in that kid, you got a responsibility to, at the very least, try and raise that kid to some extent.
Listen,
At the very least.
the reality is that, let's say, like, most 80% of 90% of people are not going to be. They're not
They
going to.
won't. And I won't hold it against them. I won't.
Yeah, I won't either. But then, I guess it contributes to the fact that we've got kids out here thinking, kids out here that think they're men. 13-year-olds out here with knives and guns and doing this and that. They got to look after. I'm the man in the house now. You know what I'm saying? Pops is not here. This and that. And listen, this is why in the Bible, God or whoever says, listen, sex before marriage. Yeah.
So wait,
Sex
I
and
want
wedlock
to
is a madness
bring it
anyway.
back to marriage as well, because if you're saying, like, say for example, co-parenting is possible, it can work out, but let's say for example, I don't know, I'm going to throw an arbitrary statistic, 90% don't work out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that, can you then mirror that?
When you say don't work out, what do you mean by don't work out?
Okay, maybe not don't work out, but it's one of the ones where it's not
Like,
an effective. Like, let's say, I don't know, if you asked a kid, did you have, do you feel like you were part of? Do you feel like your father?
you think your dad put all the energy into you that he could?
I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Some way to quantify it or something.
Yeah.
But say they didn't, it doesn't run the same the way it's expected.
Yeah.
Either it ends up being the mum raising the child or the dad raising the child or no one raising the child. But it's gonna be in some way inferior to what it would have been if both of them were there.
Yeah.
Right. So say that happens 90% of the time. Can you then mirror that into, let's say, the environment of a marriage and say, without marriage being there, like realistically 90% of the time, will people just walk away?
They would. Because people look for the, as humans, we look for the easy route because life is hard and we don't need more difficult things in our lives. So people will take the easy route. If marriage wasn't a thing, people would just be like,
There'll be a lot more.
There'll be a lot more
Yeah.
fatherless kids.
Yeah.
There are a lot now, but there would be a lot more if there wasn't a lot of laws and stuff like binding. Because people like we're not great as a species. I think about this a lot, and that a lot of animals are better parents than we are as in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what went askew in our evolution, but at some point we were like, listen, I'm not really trying to hear this, and it's a bit mad. Only in my view because of the way I was brought up.
Yeah.
But to me, it's a bit mad that this is basically another version of you, and you've been like, actually, I don't want anything to do with this.
Exactly.
That's a bit crazy, isn't it? A bit crazy. I don't know.
It is. But I'd argue to say also that happens outside of marriage.
Yeah.
Mostly outside of marriage.
Yeah.
So
What do you mean?
if there was like the people that are sort of having like loads of kids that they, let's say, don't want, that is happening outside of marriage. So what are you trying to say that with the marriage or in that marriage it would sort of reduce those?
I say marriage does reduce. I hate saying fatherless kids because that sounds really it sounds bad.
It's what it is, bro.
Yeah, but essentially, I think marriage does reduce that to an extent.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
a lot of people, if they had no barrier, if they didn't have the law being like, listen, you gotta be involved in this. Either it's at the bare minimum it's child support at the bare minimum.
Yeah.
If there wasn't that, a lot of people would just be like, I don't want any part of this. This is too much work for me. I can't be bothered. It's not even too much work for me. I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
And so they're just like, you're on your own.
Yeah.
You got
That's
it.
fair
You
enough.
got it.
But realistically, even in today's system, you can still just get a divorce and do that.
Yeah. But
It's effort though.
But then you're still like legally bound. And correct me if I'm wrong. You're still legally bound to help that child up until they're 18.
Yes.
aren't you?
But I think regardless of marriage or like, you could have had a child with somebody outside of marriage,
Yeah.
still be subjected to the same child support laws and everything, and then had that child inside of marriage and still be
Okay.
subjected to the same child support laws and everything. So like, the people that are causing the problem aren't wanting to get married anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
So
okay.
like, it's one of those ones where even now we're saying like what divorce rates are 41% in the UK. What is that boiling down to?
Wait. So I don't know if I understand what you're saying. Are you saying that? Are you agreeing with me? Are you saying that it's wrong for people to have families if they're not married?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying realistically, why are people getting married in the first place? Is it?
Oh, right.
I
Okay.
think
Is it
it
a
is.
cultural thing or is it a love thing?
You should never get married. You should never get married for love.
It's
Never.
for me. It's
Makes no
it's- I
sense.
would say in the vast majority of cases, it's a culture thing, and people feel pressured to get married because they
Because they've
see
been
other people
taught.
getting married, and they think that's the natural next step in a relationship.
No,
That's not the natural.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Naturally, animals do not get married. You know what I mean? A lot of them don't even have partners for life. That's actually, we're probably among the very few. I'm gonna look this up later.
It's
to make
mostly
sure
a
I'm
few
not-
birds.
This is what
But-
this is my opinion. Like what you just said there, like the fact that we can choose to get married is, for me, what separates us from other animals. What allows us, is what makes us not better, but it makes it's what gives us the edge. You know what I'm saying? It's why we've been able to conquer the earth. And when I say conquer, I use speech marks, but it's why we've been able to take advantage of
So
it
we
because
top of the food chain,
this
boys.
is it. Because
we out here.
because we can choose to make those kind of decisions, and I feel like what you were saying, you were saying I forgot what you were saying.
Oh yeah, you were talking about the fact that
Why are people getting married?
why people get
Yeah.
married. Yeah, I think it's a very big culture thing.
Listen, when you're brought up, especially when you're brought up in a certain way, like you're brought up in the church, for example, and your parents force you to go to church. They don't want to go to church, but you're forced to go to church, and then you learn this, the gospel, the word. You shouldn't have. You shouldn't
a lot of
have
pressure
sex.
on people
This is what I'm
already.
saying. It is pressure. It's a lot of pressure, and really, you're not really given any sort of explanation as to why you should get married or why you should follow these rules, why you should follow these. There's no explanation there, so it doesn't make sense for you to want to. Yeah, as you grow old, you're just gonna sort of despise the rules and want to go against them because it's like, fair enough, they told me this and they told me that, but they didn't even give me a reason for it. Like, they just told me to do this. Like, this is not their life. This is my life. I'm living my life. I want to live my movie. I want to do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, really,
that's
you
what it
can't
is.
expect people to follow those, like that road, or the married road, and even because in my opinion, in my serious opinion, I think most people when they get married, they don't understand what their marriage is. Like I think people take it a bit lightly, in the fact that okay, this girl looks nice.
People get married,
not
not understanding what love is, not understanding what marriage is.
They see it on TV, they're like, I want that.
That's what I'm saying. Love, for me, love has got nothing. Like when I think of it, love, there's nothing to do. Love is like it goes without saying. Like love, you need to love you need to love people anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying. You can't be around someone if you don't love them, in my opinion. So like for you to get married based on love, and love wanes, you know what I'm saying? Some days somebody will do something and it will turn you off that person, innit? So like marriage is supposed to be for life. You can't marry somebody based on an emotion
which comes and goes.
or some feeling, which is the way most people see it anyway. So you know it comes and goes, like you say. So it's like doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, it's what like I mean, like really and truly.
And she's paying.
Do I want to get married? I mean, not really. If I've already decided that I want to be with you for the rest of my life, marriage isn't going to waive that opinion in any way. Really and truly, I'm going to get married because my partner wants to get married. You know, it doesn't change. It doesn't change my opinion. It doesn't change my opinion of you.
Yeah.
I've already decided that I want to stay with you. You just wanted to get the law involved and make sure that everyone knows this now.
Okay.
I think that's what it is for maybe a lot of people. Security. But again, some people might argue to say you can offer somebody that level of security without being married.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's not reason to get married.
But that's the thing. Most girls will be like, yeah, once I'm married, that's it. He's my man. No, that's. I don't need to worry about.
You can get divorced.
Yeah, anyone can get it.
That's not a reason to get married either, bro.
What was it? Henry VIII? Who was the one that came through and was like, yeah, listen.
I swear he made a whole new church just so he could look off this wife.
The Church of England is there so you can get divorced. So that divorce is cool. It's fine. You're allowed to do it. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like,
ever since my man came through, he was like, yeah, listen.
People misunderstand the sacrament of marriage, bro. This is why religion is important, isn't it? Like, or you can say religion is not important and we can scrap marriages, innit? I can understand if somebody said that, but marriage is a religious thing. It's not for the law. It's not for security. It's not for love. It's not for any of those things. It's a sacrament you undertake because you are ready to take on the duty of, or the next step of parenthood. You know what I'm saying? It's for me, in my the way I look at it is strictly for parenthood. If you're not trying to have kids with somebody, even why would you get married with somebody you're not trying to have kids with?
I hear you on the religious side of things, because like on that note, it is like, I know I'm going to use the word procedure, it's probably wrong, but like it is a step that you take towards like that sort of religious enlightenment. But the thing where I have an issue is in asking people why they're getting married is because like some people who ain't been the last time you've been church apart from when you were married, God knows when.
Before confirmation times.
Before confirmation. So you can't come telling me like you're probably there stumbling over the Our Father when you're trying to say it.
You make such a good point.
And now like you can't play the religion front anymore.
You have no business getting married. If you're one of those people, in my opinion, you have no business getting married if you're one of those people. Because you're just, like you said, you're just doing it for societal pressure or like family pressure. Like, that's not a reason to do anything. Your life is your life. You know, you came in alone, you will go alone. That's just how it is. You must make your decision.
People just need to. I mean, if I know, I get it. It's a good night out, innit? Just throw a shivs.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy the amount of people that get married for the wedding day.
For the wedding, exactly. Just for the wedding.
It's for the wedding, not for the marriage. And I'm like,
I don't think that's mandem though. I hope it's not mandem that's getting.
It's mostly women, but it's a lot of men as well.
Well, mandem getting married for the wedding.
For the wedding.
Yep.
It is basically a big party. And imagine all your friends come down. It's drinks, it's celebration. Everyone gets to say cool stuff about you in the speeches. It's a good time.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
you know, that's a story to keep telling for the rest of your life to your kids. You know what I mean. But
then when it breaks down, will you still be so proud to be telling those stories?
Nah, burns, isn't it? You just gotta take that L. You gotta take that L.
Yeah. Oh, bro.
That's what I'm saying. People there be splurging on these weddings.
20 bags, 50 bags. I've heard stories. I've got family. I know.
Fam, I remember asking my sister, how much would you spend on your wedding? She's like, I'm going to budget around, I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to budget around 30K. I was like, wait, just you? She's like, yeah. And obviously, the groom would pay some as well. I was like, wait.
Whoa.
Where are you going?
Bro, that's a nice deposit on a nice crib, you know. Like,
do you know what I'm saying?
That's wealth. That's familial wealth.
And this will be one day.
It's a lot of money for one day, and I know. And the
People are
problem
mad.
is that a lot of
People are
people
mad,
grow
bro.
up with that plan in mind. But yeah, listen, I gotta shell out on this day because it's
Because
that important
the
day.
parents told them.
You know what I mean? But you gotta really ask yourself, why are you spending 30K on this day?
What is it? This is what people don't know. People don't even know where they're getting
And
married.
we'll be in debt for time.
30 bags.
The debt will
I'm not going
outlast
into
the marriage.
debt
Like,
for a one day party. It's a one
imagine
day
your
party.
debt outlast your marriage. So you're seeing that come off your statement
I'm
each month.
speeding, fam. Oh
You're
my
seeing that
God.
come off your statement each month. Just being reminded.
The interest.
The interest, innit? You haven't even touched the actual loan. It's just interest. Listen, do you know the button? Oh my God.
Oh man. I can't even say I feel sorry for people because like people.
So what?
people
Bottom
wouldn't
line,
agree, but yeah.
cohabitate or married? So you wouldn't live with a person before marriage?
No. Listen,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm telling you right now, bro.
I'm not the
you're looking for
reverend.
L. And I've learned, bro. I've learned.
What? Even if I'm going out with somebody for a couple of years, for a few years, I'm gonna learn that. Oh,
Do you know what? Yeah, I think
just
you
because
gotta
I'm not
gauge it
living with
yourself.
somebody,
You gotta gauge
I
it.
can't visit them and they can't visit me.
Yeah. You got.
It doesn't mean we have to
gauge
live
it.
together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like as time goes on,
Yeah.
you are more like it's more likely to work.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you don't live with that, let's say you're going out with that person for 5 years.
Yeah.
You haven't lived with them, but after
Yeah,
5
5
years,
years, you
you
kinda know.
you
Yeah.
kind of know.
Listen, even if you're not living with them, like you've visited them.
Yeah.
Maybe you even stayed over like a couple times. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna see the flags and you're gonna see the things that are cool.
It boils down to contact time.
That's
So
it.
actual contact time.
Yeah.
You could be seeing someone, quote unquote, for 5 years, but it's like, you know, we're on the phone, but I visit him every half year.
See, that's
And now
nonsense.
we're
That's
married.
not, what kind of
But I've
relationship?
been seeing him for 5 years.
You're asking for L's. You're asking for L's there.
Before
No, you
I
haven't
know-
been seeing him for 5 years anyway.
I know we've been on this topic for a while now. I don't want to stretch it out for much longer. But
Go on.
what's your quick opinion on long term relationships? No, long distance.
Long distance
What the heck?
relationships.
Doesn't even exist. What's that?
I just think you're setting yourself up for an L. To be honest,
That's it.
You are.
It's because you know what? More time is guys that are too scared for whatever reason to say, okay, we have to lock this thing off. Innit? Maybe you've got a gem of a woman who you really appreciate, and you think, okay, this isn't. I can't. Fair enough. We're going to be apart, but I need to keep this woman. I need to keep in contact with this woman. People, some guys will be like, okay, cool, let's do this long term thing.
yeah.
But that's not reason. Again, that's not reason to keep. If you're apart like that, it's not.
It's not a
thing.
relationship.
gonna work. It's not a
You're pen
relationship.
pals, bruv.
This is what I'm saying.
You know, it's not a
The pen
relationship.
pals. If you don't, that's what I'm saying. If you don't know what your partner is like, if even every week you can't check up on your partner or the person you're going out with, you can't check up on that person once a week, once every few days. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that really a relationship? This person's telling you this and that, telling this. But you don't even know. You don't know what they're doing, fam. People. No, that's another thing that's getting me. This whole social socialness has changed. You know what I'm saying? Like the way people meet each other, the way people come in contact with each other. A lot of people. Like we said, that you'll be emailing somebody, you'll be messaging somebody on WhatsApp, and you're thinking that's a relationship. No, it can't be a relationship. Maybe these make Google and that have forced you into seeing it that way, but no. You need to be in front of this person. You need to see you need to see what this person looks like. You need to see what this person smells like. You need to hear their voice. You know what I'm saying? How can you be in
100%.
a relationship with somebody if you don't
cannot.
know what the?
This is how these like old and bless them, these like old and almost like kind of senile, like loveless white women, and they're getting finessed by these Nigerian men.
Yep.
In these internet caps, dropping these bars to them about
Prince
love.
Adebayo.
Just slide into your emails, not even your emails, your junk emails.
And it slides.
Slide into your junk email. You were just scrolling. You were curious. What's inside that junk today?
Do you know what? Yeah, there was this case of this lady who got scammed by this Nigerian guy. I think she sent him.
What she get?
Sent him like 100K.
100 bags.
100 bags. Never met the guy.
Oh, no.
Never met the guy. He was just dropping these bars to him.
But you know
She
what?
was like, "Yeah, I love him," and this, that. I was like,
We're here laughing, but first of all, but we know as guys, like you can with women, you can say the right thing.
"You can drop the right bars."
You can drop the right bars, and
Words
also.
are a bit mad. You can do anything with words.
And
Right
so I'm
words.
saying, listen, Tinder's a thing, bro. Like
Oh,
you can just
yeah.
type
Bro,
words and you're successful. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying.
It's Tinder's really changed the way that people meet. How dating in general, it really because there were a lot of apps, not really apps, but there were a lot of online ways of dating
Yeah,
before
online
Tinder.
date.
But
Yeah.
when Tinder came through, it came I want to say 2012 because I jumped on Tinder
was at uni. Yeah.
very very soon after it came out. So,
Man was there at the starting line as soon as the gun went off.
so I've been on Tinder and a lot of dating. Tinder, Bumble, Plenty of Fish, Hinge.
I want to speak to you about all of them.
wait, Mr. Expert, can you? Which one was the worst one?
The worst. Plenty of Fish takes that.
Plenty of fish.
Plenty of Fish. Pure F. Do yourself a favor, and I know people are listening now and they're curious. They're like, "Oh, don't do it," because as a man on that, you are coming across women who've been just subject to the worst harassment.
Oh, wow.
The worst, and they don't want to talk to you.
When you say
directly.
harass, oh right, okay.
So what are they for?
So yeah, what are they on Plenty of Fish for?
Because they were curious. They wanted to know. Because there was a point when there was lots of hype around.
Oh, right, okay,
People were like,
okay.
Plenty of Fish.
Yeah,
there are lots of people
yeah.
on there, but the sort of people, the people who go on looking for a genuine relationship don't find it on Plenty of Fish just because the majority of people on there are just trying to see if they can get a beat as soon as possible. And they will do whatever it takes to get it done.
The desperation.
And
That's what it is.
and you know what? And what Tinder did, and Tinder started off. Tinder set a good standard for dating apps. In that you can't just go in there and just message whoever you want. You know what I mean? The other person has to show some sort of interest. So if you're not familiar with Tinder, once you make your profile, it will then send you a list of profiles, whether it be man, woman, or both. And you swipe right if you like that person, you swipe left if you don't like that person.
Yeah.
So if, for example, one girl comes up on my profile, I swipe right, my profile.
Can I quickly ask you, when you like that person, is it just is it mainly an aesthetics thing?
99% of the time. Well, 95% of the time. I find this person attractive. Because, I'd say a strong 70% of people don't even read the profile about that person. They'll scroll through the pictures really quickly and know,
You ain't got time to be reading about this, bro.
That's
but then that's
the first red flag.
Anyway, because you're going on a dating app to know people, but you're saying you don't have time to get to know the person, even on their bio.
Really and truly, the bio, like people lie, innit? Like the bio is not.
That's also true. That's also
the bio is not going to tell you anything you need to know.
I find like most of my most successful dates have been with women. Sorry, that I took the time to read the bio the first time.
Okay.
And I've been like, oh, actually, for example, like I would see a girl, I'd be like, she's nice, you know what I mean? She's not amazing, but she's nice. And I go into the bio, and then she'd be like, yeah, listen, if you can't get a certain lap time in America, there's no point in talking to me. I'm like, at that point, I'm like, wait, what? No, you chatting shit, but you're chatting shit about something that I like, you know what I mean? I'm like, wow. I'm like, there's sometimes when I look at a girl, and I'm like, I don't really find you that attractive. I go into the bio, I see something like that, I'm like, listen, I got you. I need to know what this is about. Is this a real thing? Do we actually share this passion for this thing?
Yeah.
So like, I'm always an advocate of checking people's bios because it shows an element, and really and truly in proper relationships, the aesthetics is only at the beginning. After that, it's the person.
It will die out.
Whether
it's now or in 10 years or 20 years, it's gonna go. Like somebody. It's not necessarily the fact that somebody's gonna get clapped, even though somebody is gonna get clapped, and it's mainly the woman. But it's not just that. It's just a case of like, it stops mattering. It stops becoming a thing where
it stops being the most important thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it should. It should.
Like you're gonna want to have kids. In most cases, people want to have kids. And it's like, okay, is this person worthy of? Is this person worthy? Does this person even want to have kids? Can this person look out? Will this person be the best choice for me to choose to look after my offspring? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's.
But this is the thing. I'm going to throw up something a bit philosophical here.
Go on.
Can you really find something real on a fake or digital platform?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, if it stays, I would just butt in and say, if it stays digital.
If they
then you get catfish.
Then no, you can't.
You get a program like catfish. You know what I'm saying?
But this is the thing. But so many people are looking for that, and obviously not maybe find. Obviously, like you said, there are people that do find it, but a lot of people kind of aren't. And is that whole way people are moving into dating now affecting the reason why why we have such high divorce rates? Why people aren't getting married?
From what you just said, why do you like? I do understand that there is a minority of people that are change the word, lucky enough to to not meet somebody, but like be talking to somebody online for 6 months, a year, a couple of years, and then finally meet them, and these people can have a perfectly fine relationship. But I would like to remind people that is the minority of people. It doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So people should not hang their hopes up on minority stories. You know what I'm saying?
True. That's true.
I just want to make that point anyway. Yeah, we'll continue.
No, 100%. And I think like, I don't know, the way it is, and obviously now, like, it's one of those ones where, like, I don't know. I think for me, I have better chances when I'm speaking to girls in person. There might be reasons for that. There might not be reasons for that. We won't get into it. But but like, even then, like, like sometimes it's gone all right. Sometimes it's not really gone all right. But for me, I've always just found it difficult for me also carry a conversation. Like, being on dating apps, I've tried. To be honest, I say I've tried. I've only tried Tinder. All these other ones, Plenty of Fish, Hinge, Bumble.
I'll get to that a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get into that. So my problem for me is that I just don't have the time to entertain so many people. I barely have the time to respond to the people I need to.
Yeah.
But entertaining other people, like, so this is why it's something, it's been hard for me personally. But I want to know for you, you're kind of in the swing of it and, doing things like...
I'll you know what? I'll take you through. I don't want to call it a success story because that sounds like I'm winning in the game, but I'm not in a relationship, so clearly I'm not winning. But essentially,
Wolf of Wall Street kind of shit.
But I guess it's a different. The method you use when you're in person, meeting and moving to your whether it's the man, woman, or transgender, but the same. The skill set is different. And a lot of people go into online dating with assuming that the skills carry over. They don't. Because the fact of the matter is that person can't see you. They've got 5 or 6 still images of what you look like. And then, but you don't get the body language. You don't get the change in tone of voice. All you get is text and GIFs. That's all you have.
At the same time, there's also 100 other guys messaging.
Yeah, and a lot of people, you have to really understand. Okay, so the way in that, not just Tinder, but I'd say more or less all of the dating apps works, is that the women aren't... It's the same as it is in real life. At a bar, the women are at the bar and the men do most of the approaching. Yeah. Some women do the approach, but the majority of the time it's the men do the approaching. Yeah. So you have to understand from a woman's point of view, once they've opened up their app, they only have to swipe once to get a match. And, if you're a very attractive woman, every single profile that comes up, that person has liked you in the way that the algorithm's set up. So fair. If you're a man and you swiped and you've matched this girl, she's already taken an interest from, the hundreds of other people who've already liked her, and has already come up.
But you know what's funny about that?
Yeah.
Because after that, they just sit back. They've done their job. They've done their work.
Yes. And this is what
she's even gassed for no reason now.
And this is the thing. You have to remember that there are 20 to 50 other guys who've also matched her. If you start the conversation with hi, or how's it going, there are at least 5 or 6 other conversations directly next to your conversation with that exact same message. So you can't expect, in real life, you might be able to walk up to the girl, give a wink, give a bit of a, cool body language. You got your swag on, so all of that plus the hi, that's the whole initial encounter.
Yeah.
On online dating, you don't get that. You got the pictures and you got the initial message. So this is why, in my opinion, which I think is currently one of the best dating apps is Hinge. Yeah. So with Tinder, obviously, you swipe, you match, you send a message, and then the girl replies and you have a conversation. The difference, I think, that Hinge has in comparison to Tinder is that there's still an entire profile. Hinge tackles quite a few problems that a lot of dating apps struggle with. One, it's that initial. There are tons of matches, tons of people exactly the same. How do you differentiate yourself? And a lot of people have problems being creative in that initial moment, because you only get one chance. Initially, you only get the one chance. So, in the way that Hinge works in comparison to Tinder is that you get an entire profile, you get 5 pictures, and then you'll get 3 questions that you have to fill out on your profile. So, for example, I'll quickly bring up my one just to make it easy.
But this is a Hinge ad. They paying you?
You know what? If Hinge wanted me to start, I'm going to start and be one of their spokespeople, I'm more than happy, because I really think they've done it's not perfect, but they've done a lot. They've put a lot more effort in than other people.
Okay.
And to NJ actually, because their slogan is they are made to be deleted. They want you to find your person and delete them, because that's a success story that they will start carrying up. So, for example, the first question I have on my profile is 2 truths and a lie, and you have to answer that question. So I put down 3 statements. 2 are truth, 1 is a lie. So when someone comes to my profile, they'll roll through, they'll see that one question. Oh, that's 2 truths and a lie. And what that helps is people who are really bad at writing bios. And that's the majority of people. It's like writing a personal statement. It's very hard. People struggle talking about themselves anyway. So
is that the way? Just to interject. Is that the way we want our interactions with women to be? You just,
or vice versa,
or vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
It's not ideal. It's not. But at the same time, if this medium is here, people are gonna use it, and it's a lot easier for initial encounters. Because a lot of people, when I was in year 9, year 10, 11, I couldn't just walk up to a girl in a bar and talk to them. That was mad. No, there's no way. You know what I mean?
Wow, what bar are you going to in year 7?
Okay, yeah, you're right. No, let's say
year 11.
Let's say we're at a house party, and I'll see a girl in the other corner of the room, and then their approach is looking at you, and then staring for 1-2 seconds and looking away. As far as they're concerned, they've done the approach. They've done the hard work. It's now for you to walk over.
Down.
That is their approach.
That's the game right now, bro. That's the game.
That's initially it. Because remember, there's 10 other guys.
These Somalian girls really love me. Continue.
That was spice. But go on. No,
there were 10 other guys in the room who she could have, but she chose to look at you and look away. Okay. So as far as they're concerned, they've done the hard work. You need to now come over and show yourself as someone who's, forefront, got the confidence, can come over and hold a conversation.
But why do I need to prove myself to a woman? Bro, that's mad.
It is. Listen, I don't agree with it. But unfortunately, that is the game. And you either play the game well or you play the game badly.
Yeah.
And, and it's hard to find your partner if you're not playing the game, unless you're really lucky.
Do you know what I found on Tinder as well? Because we're talking about the game thing and people making their move, and obviously people struggling to speak about themselves, right? Mm-hmm. On Tinder, did you ever just notice how? Let me put it very bluntly. The only people that filled in their bios were people that felt maybe they needed to fill in their bios.
Absolutely.
Wait. By that,
what I mean is,
people that think that they're paying, they put in bios.
They don't.
What BS is that, man?
Why bother? If someone looks at you, if you're walking along the street and someone looks at you and be like, that person's really good looking, I want to talk to them. Why should that woman why would that woman stop and try and talk to that person when they know that if that person really wants me, they can come and get me? And out of the 20 people who she's walked past, and they've all thought that she's really good looking, one of those guys, if they really want, will come over and talk to her.
That's true.
So why put the effort in? You know what I mean? Why should a really good looking girl go up to a guy in a bar and put all this effort in trying to get them interested if they can just wait a couple of minutes and someone will walk over, and then she can just sieve through the guys until she finds someone that really suits her? And
yeah.
That's the
game. That's the game.
So I don't like it. I don't agree with it. But at the same time, if I want to find myself a partner, I have to play the game. And everybody's playing. Whether you like it or not, everybody's playing the game.
Hey, for me, it's not my job to do that. Mad, that's mad. I hear what you're saying. It's mad.
Yeah, it's not your job. But at the same time, if you're really trying to secure a woman that has the looks, the characteristics, everything that you want, you can't just expect them to fall into your lap, and you can't expect that person to come up and talk to you, because they just won't.
She's trying to. I'm never trying to secure any woman. In my whole from day one, it's always been women trying to secure me. I'm sorry. I don't even think I'm paying. I'm not the most paying person there. But
I see you got the height, man. Like that plays a huge. And you know what?
Don't expose me, bro.
It's not the height; it's the beard. It's the
you know, it's not the height; it's the beard. It's the postcode.
But what I'm saying is, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if it's my faith in God and Christ that allowed me to believe this, but I don't think it's beneficial for me to qualify myself. I'm not saying I can't have a good relationship with a woman should I meet somebody in that way, but I'm just saying I'm of the belief right now, and I could be very wrong. I might be to be honest, it's quite likely I'm wrong, because the game is the game, and the game is the game, innit? But yeah, I don't want it to be like that where I have to prove myself to another human being just in order for me. When I know the qualities, I know the qualities that I have. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I guess that's how other people are thinking. Others are thinking.
Yeah, and it's sort of like social media has had a really big impact on what people think they want in a relationship. That's why, you know, people you always see, you know, the guy's not 6 foot, just don't even come and talk to me. Like, I mean, go back to when we were in school. No one was asking for a guy that was 6 foot. When you're 5'3". Why do you want a guy that's 6 foot for?
Really and truly,
you know, when I see girls,
I mean,
post,
people they'll say that, but really, like feelings. That's a feeling, isn't it?
Yeah. I think so. I'm thinking, what business do you have? You're 5'0". What business do you have?
Why do you want someone that tall? It's impractical.
It's mad as well. Like, what business do you have? You sleep on a bunk bed, like, and you're out here asking for this and that. Like, this is what I'm saying. People are happy to bring nothing to the table. That can't run.
Do you know what though?
Yeah.
It can't
You know
run.
what though? That's the game. The game has made that now. There's people that you can. Oh no, it's not even like people are happy. People are allowed. You can bring nothing to the table. Realistically, well, nothing like there's nothing tangible. You can be really rich, and that's what you bring to the table. Nothing else. Your flames, your dickhead. Like, no one likes you, but you got peas. So you're let in.
But
You could
if, if both sides know this is what it is, like, listen, you're with me because I'm caked up, and I'm with you because you're paying. Like, if that's what it is, then that's what, like, at least if both sides know, I'm pretty sure, like, if it is known, and that's the key, it has to be known. If it is known, it can run. I feel like that's fair.
I guess so.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's the thing. A lot of people they have these as a false pretense that they have. Oh, this person's with me because not just because of this, they're with me because they love me or this and that. No, bro, listen, like you say, the game is the game.
The game is the game.
There's people,
man.
like I said, there's people out here just like, like you say, dishing out handbags and this and that. I mean, it doesn't equate love, innit? Don't get me wrong. Maybe I'm sidetracking. I'm going somewhere else with this. But my whole thing is, I guess what I'm trying to tell my brothers is, my guys, work on your hearts. My sisters, my ladies, work on your hearts. Like, that's the only thing that's gonna last you, and that's what's gonna give you peace at the end of the day. Innit?
You know, you make a really, really good point, because there was a time when I was reading some of these articles and books. There were a lot of dating books.
Yeah.
That the first 80% of that book is actually all about self-improvement.
Okay.
It's actually like I'd started looking into because there was a point when I was like, why am I not getting these girls? Like, I'm not ugly.
Yeah.
So what's going on? I'm doing something wrong. So I started doing some research. I was like, what's going on? So I started looking. I was like, cool. You know what? I'll just read a book. Fuck it, I'll read the book. You know, because clearly, you know, if the books are here. Clearly, these guys know what they're doing. I'll read it, and after that, I'm halfway through these books, and I'm like, they haven't told me nothing about how to move to women yet. They've said nothing. They're saying all this stuff about like, you know, improving your self-worth, and I was like, I don't get it. But I thought this was a dating book, and what I realized is that it's really stupid, but I think a lot of people need to hear it, is that when you make yourself more presentable, when you bring more to the table,
that's what it is.
then you become much more attractive. And I was like, duh. I was like, oh yeah, obviously that makes a lot of sense.
And you also become more aware of what other people bring to the table.
You can see.
And then you start to dodge these little, you know, you start to see these flags a lot earlier on.
Yep.
And you can save yourself a lot of heartbreak, money, and time, because you can meet someone and be like, you're cool, but this is not for me.
Yep.
This is not what I want. Because a lot of people think they know what they want, and when they get it, they're like, oh, I'm not happy. Why am I not happy? That's not what you want.
The only thing I think that can show you what you want is your morals. So if, for example, you were looking to get into a situation with a woman and you had the list of morals, like principles that you follow, you go by in your life, like, my life, I do this, and I do this because of this, and I do this because of this, and you just list it down on paper, and then you had to look at the woman you're going out with, and you said, okay, so does she maybe not necessarily does she live by these morals, but does she accept these morals about me? Like, does she accept the way I do these things? And if you look at it and say, even if there's one of these things, one of these principles that is an iffy thing, I don't think that this like there's a possibility to have a relationship there, because there, when you've listed the morals, it's like, okay, I know you've kind of said, I know what I want. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, because I've tried this. It's not easy to list morals, but once you've put down all the these are the things that make me. You know what I'm saying? These are the points that. I mean, sometimes some people might sit down and think to themselves, oh, I would like this and I would like that. But most of the time, it's based on the feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's based on, right now I feel like I want this. Right now I feel like I want that. So yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if you actually put it down on paper and said, okay, let's not make it a material thing. Let's make it all a mental thing or a spiritual thing. Like, okay, so this is this I do this. For example, let me use one of the things I put down. I'm trying to live a green existence, so I always recycle. I try to not use so much electricity. If I'm going out with somebody who's against that principle, I know I don't like, even as much as I could get on with that person.
Yeah,
nicely,
but I get what you mean,
once,
fundamentally,
fundamentally, this person is against me, so therefore it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like what you're saying, a lot of people, they think they know what they want, but because they haven't. Because first of all, a lot of people are not even sure on their morals. They don't even know what they believe. So if you don't know what you believe, how can you actually say to yourself, okay, I want this person. Yeah, I would like to spend the rest of my life.
A lot of people don't know what they want. A lot of
They
people don't know what they believe. You even ask
don't know
people now what political group you support. I don't know. Like, what food, even something simple, very primitive.
Yeah.
What food do you want?
Bro, having set morals could just make life a lot more easier. But yeah, that's me going to that's the Reverend coming out again anyway.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think a lot of what you're saying there, I fundamentally agree with now.
Yeah.
If you'd asked me 5 years ago,
Yeah,
I would have been like, no, this is what's important.
my guy.
And then-
5 years
and then
ago,
when-
I didn't even believe in this.
When and then I think I was quite lucky in the respect that in my last relationship, I was showed a lot of the things that I didn't know I wanted, and when I got it, I was like, oh shit, I need this. This is non-negotiable now. I have to have this now. So now I have the way that I sort of categorize whether a woman whether I should even start to pursue a relationship. There's a set list of things. I don't want someone who's a certain amount of attractiveness. You don't have to be perfect. There's no point. You're wasting your time trying to.
First of all, perfection doesn't even exist. But yeah.
Yeah. So you have to be I want them to look at least a certain way.
Yeah.
And then I want them to be, I guess, educated to a certain extent. I'm not talking to be smart, but at the very least, you got to have common sense. And I've been
Some kind of awareness as well.
Some kind of awareness, yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to, So there's lots of these little, and I feel like if people just sat down and put down the top 5 things that they need in their partner, and then when they meet the person, ask them, have they got these 5 things?
Yeah.
If they don't meet those 5 things, then just know that if you then pursue that person after this, you're setting yourself up for an L.
You've seen that it doesn't match.
It doesn't match.
It doesn't match.
So why are you now?
You continuing now? Yeah.
Don't do it. And it's there are times when you're like, but she's so good looking. Oh, but we have the same exact taste in food or in music in this.
That's like when girls
Yep,
say,
yep.
"Oh, but he's got a brand new Benz."
That is.
My mum was gonna say he's got a fresh trim.
I honestly thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say he had a fresh trim.
That's what I was gonna say before.
I know I shouldn't get with him, but he's got a fresh trim.
You know what I'm saying? Like when we say those things, and that's like us lying to ourselves. Like when girls say, "Oh, he's got a nice car. Oh, he's got a nice crib." Like, that's them lying. Well, let me not even say. Yeah, that's them lying to themselves as well, thinking, "Oh, this can be a success because he has that all these material things." When really and truly, when it gets down to after the initial phase, the material doesn't even. It's not even that important anymore. What the money, the wealth. Okay, no, the wealth is always important. The items that he has, or what he spent, like the car and all those things. Like once you get past a certain stage, those things are not important anymore. It's like, okay, cool, fair enough. Now let's get down to nitty gritty. Do you believe in God? Do you?
I think it's.
Do you like to keep? Do you like to keep a clean house? Do you like to do this? You know,
Do you think the Earth is flat? You know, because if you do, then I know it's not gonna work.
It's true.
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
true.
You know what I'm saying, man. So yeah, man. I feel like people can
But
even,
no, 100%. I think a lot of people base a lot of what they think they want on materialistic stuff and not knowing, you know, what the Lord giveth, He can taketh away.
like I say, that is the truest. That is the truest of all statements. I know it sounds like I'm on my religious ish, but this like a lot like you have to agree. A lot of the things I'm saying I'm coming with a little bit of sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
A lot of people
100%.
believe that religion is a what can I say? It's the whole dogma thing is not a good thing. Like you shouldn't have a set mindset. You should be open minded. Bro, no one said I'm not open minded. You know, I understand where people come from, this and that, but and this is me like sort of defending religion for some reason. And I don't know why I feel like I need to anyway, but it is what it is. Like I feel like I've seen things because I've not always been like this. It's been less than a year where I've been okay. You know what? Yeah, I sat down and think, oh, bro, why did this go? Like in your head, you always have an idea of how you want things to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when it doesn't go out that way, it's like, oh, what did I do? Did I do this wrong? Or did I not do that? And it's never really that. It's always more of a sense of it just wasn't meant to be. You know what I'm saying? And just accepting that is what is like, okay, cool. You know what? You're actually kind of like, even though on the look of things, you don't seem as though you are actually a religious person having those kind of beliefs. Isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
I hear that.
Yeah, this was a little segue for me to talk about why the Reverend is the Reverend, isn't it?
You reminded me of something that I think a lot of people need to get out of their mind.
Oh yeah.
It's the whole one true love, the perfect person. He's out there, she's out there. Go and find them. I just think you need to really don't waste your time looking for that, because there are we've gone well past 7 billion people now.
Yeah.
If there was only ever one person out there for you, you'd never find them really.
Yeah, exactly.
Statistically, you're never gonna find them. Yeah. So find someone who, you know, you wake up in the morning, you're comfortable to do what you're comfortable to be you around them all the time.
Yeah.
And they meet, you know, once you can do that, and they meet all your morals, and you know they bring a bit more to the table. What more do you want?
Oh, I want to say this as well. This is another thing. You know, just lying, when people lie, like on any level, when guys lie, like for example, when you're young and you lie to a girl, for example, a lot of guys lie to girls just for sex. You know what I'm saying? It's just a thing, innit? People don't understand the after effects, innit? Like, for example, you lie to a girl, and you lie to a girl about, oh, I don't know, this and that. Like, let's do this for, I don't know, man. People tell lies. I'm not a big liar, so I don't really know the lies that people tell like that. But people actually lie about those things, and then you've let this go on. The thing doesn't work for her. Like, you've got what you want, but in the end, she's out here, she's salty, and now she's feeling some kind of way about guys in general. My guys, my brothers, you're not doing your boys, you're not doing your brothers a service when you do these kind of things. It's like
you're hurting the collective.
You're poisoning the herd. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? Yeah,
this reminds me. Sorry to cut you off. This reminds me. This probably like a couple months ago now.
Yeah.
I went on a date. It was all going well. She's talking. She's like, do you want to go back to mine? I was like, you want to go? I got some weed at mine. You want to come back to mine and smoke? I was like, yeah. Yeah, cool. She comes down, and as we're walking to mine, she's like, and you know what? I tried not to take offense to it because it's not at me.
Yeah, it's just
guys as a collective. She's like, just so you know, please don't try and attack me when they come back to mine. Please, just know that I will fight back. And I was just like,
whoa,
what's going on?
The fact that she's
like, it's not against you. I just want to put it out there, just in the small chance that this might be a scenario. And I was just like, who's hurt you? Who hurt you?
No, don't say that because that sounds patronizing. But like, has that happened to you?
But like nothing's happened to her. But she knows
people.
She knows it happens. And I'm like,
boy.
I just feel bad because now I'm like, a guy's out there doing this, and he's now ruining it not just for the women but for all the men as well. Because so now every man that now woman now tries to, you know, try anything, but she's going to be in the back of her head thinking,
I expected this.
I don't know. Is this going to happen?
Oh, yeah.
Is this going to happen to me? I don't know. And it's just that constant, no one should be in fear, you know, of
every
people.
single time you go out with some. That's crazy. It's just what I'm saying,
bad.
my guys.
These are lasting effects that people aren't really.
They will never forget these things.
Yeah,
This is what my guys don't do. This don't spoil it. You're spoiling. Come on, man. Like it's. Like,
you ruin it for everyone.
Guys, this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't. First of all, you can't really own a woman. Like, can we get this straight? Like, regardless of marriage, or like that woman is not your woman, innit? Like, I mean, in marriage, people like say 50-50. I don't know about this 50-50 thing, but I don't believe that she's not a property. You don't own her. Like, she's free to the whole point of it is that she's free to do as she pleases. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, alright, cool. Guys out here behaving like they own these chicks, so they feel like they can treat them any other way. Listen, if anything happens and you separate from that woman, so that woman is no longer like you don't go out with her, she's not like you're no longer together, and she comes with another man, that man is going to be feeling the effects of everything that he did to that woman.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Everything especially the negative things. You know what I'm saying? So my guys, please do better for your brothers, man. Please just have some kind of love in your heart, man. Because boy, living that selfish life, I believe it's gonna come back to you. Like, you know, you doing all these things. One day you're gonna what you've put out is gonna come back to you one day. But even past that, like, really and truly, are you so hurt, so toxic that you're willing to destroy everybody else's ability to have a happy life, a peaceful life, by you carrying on? Again, this is kind of a deep point, because I know a lot of guys can't help it.
Give it to them.
No, look, guys can't help this. Like, from what they've seen as a young guy, from the way people have been raised, they can't, like, they don't do these things because they've made a conscious decision. Look, listen, when I go out with this girl, I'm going to attack this girl. No, bro. Sometimes it just happens in a moment. It's an instinct that these guys have. You know what I'm saying?
Some people are actually just cranked.
This is what I'm saying. So it's like, I can blame them for saying, they shouldn't have done this. But really and truly, it's not something that they wished to do. It's not something that they planned. It's just something that, because of everything they've seen before and everything that they've been through, happened. But at the same time, my guys,
you got to step up and take responsibility. I mean, there was a point when you will be like, some of the things you do and say are based on your upbringing, but once you're an adult, you then have the ability to make your own choices. You
need to overcome all those things.
There's got to be a point when you might be damaged because of things that happened in your past, but at some point you got to stay. Okay, cool. That happened, but now I'm deciding to do this.
Yes.
You can't. That excuse only. You can't run forever.
Yeah.
At some point, you're gonna be like, okay, listen, fix up.
Yeah, man.
Come on.
More point, bro. Don't spoil the herd, my guys. Like,
I'm tired of walking down the street and women walking across the road. I'm tired of it now. I'm tired. And I don't blame the women. I blame the guys that made them scared.
The guy the guy who got backed by his wife. It's his fault. It's all his fault. Everything happened. Fair enough. Like, he's been raised in a certain way, this and that. But at the end of the day, it was down. The reason it happened. Something that he did that allowed that to go on. She probably thought, this guy's he did this. He's a prick. This and that.
So what did happen? Did he just get decked?
Nah, they're probably arguing about something, and she thought, this guy's a prick. Let me hit him with a 1-2.
I thought he got decked. I was going to say, I was like, yeah, man.
He was probably stumbling as well. Like, you know the ones where your legs are feeling like
that
you get rocked in your jaw and you can barely stand.
Right knee just nearly folded. Bro. Oh my days.
Someone's got the iPhone there.
Listen, the iPhone's there already. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do?
What do you do?
When that happens, you get punched the first time, you feel the rock, you're like, wait, what's going on?
You can't even see for a few seconds.
You can't even see for a few seconds, you're rocking backwards. The second one comes. By the time the second one lands, at a far distance, all you're hearing is World Star as you're falling. Nah. I'm coming back. Listen, no.
Man.
I hope it never gets to that, and it will never get to that.
This is why sometimes, I look at these females, I'm like, Lord, don't pair me with any one woman that's got a history of violence, because, boy, I don't want it to happen. It can't happen, because I don't. You probably will never see me again if that happened. If it happened in the public domain,
you'll never see me again. Changing my name to Pablo, bro, and I'm moving out to Cuba. That's it.
For a woman to just put me out in front of viewers, like, for people to see it, like it's a show. This is why I understand why the guy thought. Nah, listen, I understand why he fought back, man. I don't blame him because listen, you can't just.
No, it's true.
Have it, man.
I hear. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna touch on that because realistically, yeah, like you were saying before, like with the guy, I guess for you, Adrian, it's a lose. It's a lose.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yes.
it's a
Yes.
lose. It is.
But for some guys, it can literally be because I know how, the same way women have their sort of like looks as almost like a currency.
Yeah.
Men have sort of respect and ego as that currency.
Yep.
Once that goes, your life is done.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
What else he living for?
yeah, that's the equivalent of a guy, maybe not the equivalent psychologically, but like in principle, taking away that currency of like somehow, but I don't know, boxing a woman and I don't know, she has now black eye, she looks flames.
No.
Like, and now all of a sudden, or I don't know if you could drop kick someone so hard the booty falls off or something like that. It just, I don't know. In some way,
I get what you're saying. No,
in some way, take away part of like his life.
They feel wrong, then
He's like, what? Who can he can't tell nothing to nobody at that point. Especially if you're doing the road.
Oh,
if you're doing road and that happens to you, you're done.
Can't tell
You're done. You can't go. You can't go back. It's already too late.
You already been banged. You've been banged. Don't chat.
You've been banged. Why don't you call your girl again?
Scratching my head, bro. Listen, not have to just draw for the gun.
stop.
In them occasions, just draw for the strap.
From there on out, you get into an argument with someone. Shut up, man. I'll call your girl over. I want call your girl to come bang you. Shut up, man.
Life's done. Life's done. Might as well pack up and move.
Just go
I
pen.
get it.
Just go pen, bro.
Just go,
Just go pen. You might as well.
Just go
fam.
pen. Go get wham.
Got nothing else to live for, bro.
But even if you got wham, even if you got mad wham and came back, you couldn't live it down. I'm an advocate for saying you couldn't live it down. Oh man, but I'm not gonna lie.